Hello. So it's been a while since I made a video, and this video will be a bit different because I won't necessarily be talking about a particular philosopher or a particular novelist and their views. Rather, something that I believe that I want to share and to not only share to you guys, but also to formulate my thoughts a bit better. So, ever since like grade 11, grade 12, I had to tackle the question of why do I want to help people, especially going into medicine, because it's a field that's very, you must really dedicate your life to helping others, and it's hard to accomplish this goal without actually knowing why you want to do so. It's easy to say, well, yeah, I just want to help people, but when really asked why, oftentimes people have difficulty formulating an answer. And I want to kind of just show a type of answer, like an answer that I, in my current state and with the ideas I've currently been exposed to, what I believe is something that resonates with me. So I call this planting seeds. And it is, for me, a reason to do good. So one of the first indications and the starting point of kind of this theory was when I read The Idiot by Dostoevsky. And there's a quote that I'll read to you guys here by Hippolyte, which is one of the characters. He's like this frail boy that has tuberculosis, and throughout the novel, he's a side character, and he reflects upon his death and why he wants to do good, and this is something that he says. How can you tell what significance such an association of one personality with another may have on the destiny of those associated? In scattering the seed, scattering your charity, your kind deeds, you are giving away, in one form or another, a part of your personality, and taking into yourself part of another. All your thoughts, all the seeds scattered by you, perhaps forgotten by you, will grow up and take form. He who has received them from you will hand them on to another. And how can you tell what part you may have in the future determination of the destinies of humanity? So essentially, what he's talking about here, is all about planting a seed. By doing a good deed, by performing a good deed, we're essentially planting a seed in a barren landscape, initially a barren landscape. And this is likened to me to helping a patient, helping a person, whether that be helping someone go through a tough time, or helping someone improve their health, or helping someone live an extra decade or two, or just bringing some form of positive impact on their life. That becomes a seed that is planted. And like here in the quote, he who has received them from you will hand them on to another. It's not merely the fact that I plant a seed which eventually sprouts into a tree. It is that this tree will then drop more seeds, which will produce more trees. And then these trees will produce even more seeds each. And this will create a cascade effect where a massive forest is produced. And this forest will be teeming with life and birds and fauna. However, I feel like the most important thing is that this section here, perhaps forgotten by you. Well, for me, this would just seem like just part of my job, part of something that I do. But unbeknownst to me, this has already, let's say within 5-10 years, I've inadvertently affected so many people and brought beauty to so many people by just performing one trivial act. For me, that seems trivial and part of my job, that I've generated a wealth of goodness and of positivity. And this is just one seed. Imagine in one day you see 20, 30 patients. Imagine over the course of your career, at the end, how big this force will be and how much of an impact you would have had on not only people, but their families and also their children, grandchildren, and those that their friends and those that interact with them. It really gives you a sense of hope that good actions can proliferate into goodness. And I think this is the primary aspect of this, perhaps forgotten by you. It's not that you'll see the fruits of your labor. Rather, you'll find solace and you'll find that internal sense of fulfillment, knowing that these stories will never be told to you, or a large part of these stories you'll never actually learn. But there may be generations of people, exponentially larger amount of people that have been inadvertently affected and inadvertently had their lives improved by just a small good deed um, that you provided. And Tolstoy, in his short story *The Forged Coupon*, really emphasizes this idea of a small action turning into very large consequences, in his story, for the better or for the worse, but in my example, for the better. Essentially, in *The Forged Coupon*, two children, or two teenagers, they forge a coupon, which is essentially they forge a back then in Russia they had, you could either pay via money or you could pay via coupons, which you cash in for money. And they forge a coupon from originally $2.75 to, they added a 1 to $12.75. And then they swindle a photography store owner. But eventually this leads to so many repercussions that it leads to almost 3 to 4 timelines that are simultaneously occurring, which ends with people in prison, people getting murdered, people getting robbed, people getting deported, and eventually it ends with good, with with the main character reconciling with his father, which led of who was responsible for him forging the coupon in the first place. But this kind of flowchart that I created really shows the impact that one tiny action has on, you could circle the amount of people that are being affected by this by one tiny action. And it goes to show how quickly a small action can proliferate and the profound effects that this can have on people all around you. So I think this really spoke out to me. These two passages and these two ideas from these two books really spoke out to me as the power of planting a seed, because that seed can proliferate into hundreds and thousands of new trees and new ecosystems and new living beings. And I think the beauty of it, that it's perhaps all forgotten, but maybe you'll remember. Maybe you'll see the children of someone that you saved one day, or maybe you'll see someone grow old and spread the goodness to others. But really, it's all about planting that one seed. No matter what I end up doing later in life, I want to be something where I can be that person who plants that seed regularly for helping people, even unbeknownst to them and unbeknownst to myself, and really making, in the end, a very positive impact on the world around me, and trying to make it a better place by improving the individual lives and the goodness that's spread within the world. But yeah,